Alright, welcome to this video that will be talking about the congressional race in the 11th District of Ohio. So on March 10th, 2021, Marcia Fudge, the congresswoman representing the 11th District, resigned in order to become the new Housing and Urban Development Secretary. This opened for a special election in the district. Now this could have been just a normal special election in which the next Democrat in line to excel the ladder of Ohio politics would get the seat easily. But as in so many races in the United States in the recent years, this one is due to be very exciting. You see, Nina Turner, instrumental in the 2016 Bernie Sanders campaign, president of Our Revolution, and also national co-chair of the Bernie Sanders 2020 campaign, was rumored to run. This was very exciting because she has marked herself out to be a firebrand progressive and something entirely different from the Democratic establishment. And the rumors that she would eventually make a step up excited many people, especially in progressive media. Let's look at some of their reactions together.
Has named Marcia Fudge from Ohio to be the HUD secretary. Now, the reason why this is important news for you, for me, for the left, isn't necessarily because I have a strong opinion about Marcia Fudge either way, but because of who might be running to replace her. Reportedly, the individual considering running for Marcia Fudge's old seat is none other than Nina Turner. If this is true, I cannot tell you how big of a deal this would be for the left and progressive movement. A lot of signs and evidence point to this being true, although Nina Turner hasn't confirmed anything yet. However, there's a lot of reasons to believe that this is going to happen. So as Holly Otterbein and Alex Thompson of Politico report, former Ohio State Senator and top Bernie Sanders surrogate Nina Turner is contemplating a run for Representative Marcia Fudge's seat if Joe Biden brings the Ohio member of Congress into his administration, according to two people close to Turner. Reached by phone, Turner was coy. Currently, there is no vacancy in the district, and if it becomes vacant, things will unfold as they should, she said. Pressed on whether she was considering a run, Turner said, well, there's been an outcry for me to at least consider it. You know, I'm a public servant through and through, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. She's not saying much, but her response tells us a lot. Now, on top of that, the author of this article, one of them anyways, tweeted this out. Nina Turner has filed with the FEC for Fudge's seat in Ohio. Reached by phone, she says she has nothing to add. I'm in my 48 hours, she said. But when I reached the campaign treasurer on the FEC form, they said they'd pass along my message, quote, to the campaign. Happening, and I could barely contain my excitement. I feel the way I felt back in, I think it was February of 2019 when Bernie Sanders announced that he was running for president again. This genuinely gives me hope in a way that I haven't felt since that time. And this is really important. Nina Turner is someone who wouldn't just be another progressive in Congress. She is a leader of this movement, and she could be the leader of this movement. Now, the reason why her running is important is because she has a really strong shot at winning. First of all, she has access to a lot of Bernie Sanders staffers that would likely very willingly jump on board. On top of that, all of the infrastructure that Bernie Sanders built up around, grassroots fundraising, all of the donors that Bernie Sanders had would almost certainly support Nina Turner. I know I would. The minute she announces, I'm going to sign up to donate $27 a month to her, as I did with Bernie Sanders. So there's a lot that she has going for her to win this seat. I don't know what the primary is going to look like. I can imagine that the Democratic Party establishment may try to, recruit individuals to run against her because they don't want Nina Turner to win. But Nina Turner is Nina Turner. If you're running against her, good luck. Good luck.
All right, have I got great news for you guys. Here comes Nina Turner! Here comes Nina Turner! Hope's back. Hope's back. What an amazing day today. So, the Supreme Court knocks down Donald Trump's nonsense allies suit in Texas. The try to get the election on their side. Doesn't work, okay? So now, as that right-wing fascism, in my opinion, is defeated, now all of a sudden hope. Okay, so Nina Turner, one of the greatest progressives in the country, one of the strongest progressives in the country, co-chair of the Bernie Sanders campaign. Looks like he's going to be running for 11th district in Ohio. The current congresswoman there, Marcia Fudge, got picked to be Biden's Secretary for Housing and Urban Development. That seat is going to be vacated. And so, now, Nina Turner has not announced, I want to be clear about that, but look at what I found. If you type in ninaturner.com/hello, you get to an actual fundraising page for Nina Turner's congressional campaign. Here comes Nina Turner! Okay, hello somebody, hello Congress. Okay, so, the reason why I'm this excited is just like I said, I don't know that there's a stronger progressive in the country. I don't know that. So, this race is going to be on fire and fuego. So it's Cleveland, and I think it stretches down to Akron. Okay, so it's all the districts are funny looking, right? So now here's more good news. Nina Turner, that's her portion of that is her original district in Ohio. Remember, she's a state senator from Ohio. So she was the Democratic nominee for Secretary of State in Ohio. So she's woven into the Democratic Party in Ohio. She just happens to be from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. I know the Democratic Party is open to everyone. I know we're a big fan. So now, look, I'm going to tell you a personal story of the first time that I saw Nina in a major speech. I've seen her now many, many times in person, and it's a sight to behold. Okay. She comes in with that cape or that coat she's got on. It's amazing, right? But I'm going to tell you a personal thing in a second. For the first time I saw it, I was like, that's her, okay? And why I thought that. But let me give you quotes from other folks first. First of all, she was on the Cleveland City Council from 06 to 08. I'm quoting Salon.com here. Everybody's been speculating about her run. She was, of course, elected to the Ohio State Senate. She served there from 2008 to 2014. She declined to run with Jill Stein for the Green Party candidacy because she stayed in the Democratic Party. And she was co-chair, of course, of Bernie's campaign. And she was president of Our Revolution. And a lot of folks are excited. I'll give you a couple of my favorites. Cori Bush said, hello, somebody, Secretary Marcia Fudge and Congresswoman Nina Turner. That has a great ring to it. And Rokana says, who thinks Congresswoman Turner has a nice ring to it in a potentially open seat? Here, all of us do. It's so important to support progressives. Now, Nina would be an amazing leader in Congress.
Love to see this. So this is one of those rare times, ladies and gentlemen, where, you get somebody who comes along who really is the real deal, and there's no question about it. And in a situation like that, yeah, we should all not just support her, but actually even donate to her. I don't recommend this often, but for somebody like Nina, for sure, I'll be donating to her. I don't know, I don't think we have the links yet, and I don't even know if she's officially said it herself yet, but we know she's running because she filed with the FEC to run for the seat. So, we'll see if/when, it's not if, it's when she makes her official announcement. But this is wonderful news.
As you can see in those clips, just sweeping praise of Nina Turner. I don't know if you want to watch the rest of Cenk's video, but I sort of recommend it, because then you can have a drinking game as to how many times Cenk says the word hello somebody. He's totally in the skies about this, and so are the other progressives. And that's probably because Nina Turner is perceived to be something quite different than many of the other Justice Democrats. She is regarded as a firebrand, someone that says what she means, even though it's unpopular, and she dares to say it very loudly. For instance, in many interviews on mainstream media, she has became visibly angry with many moderate Democrats, saying that the status quo is the best. And she, as a Bernie Sanders campaign co-chair, she was very, very clear about that. She didn't accept small-time solutions like Joe Biden's healthcare plan. Even people like Kolinsky, those that stood behind the Force to Vote campaign, that split even the progressive wing with regard to which strategy they should use, supports Nina Turner, showing that she is really a figure loved by the left. And soon the day approached, the fateful day, when Nina Turner made it official that she would campaign to become the next congresswoman from Ohio's 11th district. She released a video on Twitter, and she also went on several interviews, for instance one on the Young Turks. Here are those clips.
I am a daughter of Cleveland. I was raised in this community by parents who worked very hard. My mother was a nurse's aide, my father a truck driver. I can relate to people who live in the 11th Congressional District from all walks of life. I am you. As a Cleveland City Councilwoman, I worked to secure housing for seniors. As an Ohio State Senator, I stood with working families in labor to maintain collective bargaining rights. I led the effort to create the Ohio Task Force on Community and Police Relations. I know that the struggle is real. I want to serve as your next Congresswoman because I believe that everyone deserves a good job, health care, and our children deserve to be educated from pre-K to college. I will go to Congress to help our community recover from the coronavirus, including helping small businesses and those who have been hardest hit. We are going to do great things together. Let's get to work. I am Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress.
For the folks who don't know, Nina Turner, of course, campaign co-chair for Bernie Sanders, former state senator in Ohio, former Democratic nominee for Secretary of State in Ohio, and former councilwoman in Cleveland, is running for the 11th District of Ohio because Marcia Fudge has gotten appointed to Housing and Urban Development Secretary. We hope, obviously, that she gets confirmed, and that would make this seat open. And Senator Turner had not declared yet, but she has today. So that's what brings her here. So let me start with the most obvious question, which is, what makes you want to run for this particular seat in the United States Congress?
Well, Jake, it's a continuation of my public service. The people need it. It is for times such as this. There's so much suffering in my district and all across this country, and the type of voice that I would bring in the work and the fight to ensure that the Congress is uniquely positioned, particularly the House of Representatives, to deliver for the people. And I want to be among those members who are willing to deliver. I want to congratulate my current Congresswoman for being selected by President-elect Joe Biden to serve as the Secretary of HUD. I believe that she will do an extraordinary job, and I am looking forward to continuing the legacy of that district. A lot of people don't know the history of that district. It was created because of the Civil Rights Act. Mayor Carl B. Stokes fought very hard to get that district. Congressman Louis Stokes was the first. That district has only had 3 Congress people in almost 51 years. And Congressman Louis Stokes was the first African-American to go to Congress from the great state of Ohio. Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones, who died suddenly and unexpectedly from a brain aneurysm in 2008. She stood up for the people. She stood up for health care, and she voted against the Iraq War. And then we have Congresswoman Marcia Fudge. So there is a history in that district. I want to not only continue that history, but take that history to another level. And that is certainly what I plan to do, fighting for $15 an hour. I want to double the wage here in Cleveland, and that will help people all over this country. Certainly healthcare is vitally important for folks. COVID has just disrupted and peeled back the vestiges of a system gone mad, gone wrong, where the everyday or the workaday people of this country have suffered, and my district is certainly has bore the brunt of that suffering. So I'm going to stand up for the people of this district and by extension, my state and this nation.
So, Nina Turner was running, but could she win? That was the question on progressives' minds. You see, for many of the progressive Democrats, which district you are running in is very important for your chance at winning. And if you look at the progressive Congress people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, or Rashida Tlaib, they all come from very urban districts that are diverse and sometimes poor. And the Ohio 11th Congressional District is in many ways such a district. It is 100% urban, and the median income is only $42,000 a year. And it is also a very diverse district, with even a black majority of 53%. The 11th district has also been in the Democrats' hands for the last couple of decades, with the last congresswoman Marcia Fudge taking over for another Democrat in the early 2000s. So, the 11th congressional district consists mostly of the city of Cleveland, or at least huge parts of the city of Cleveland, one of the biggest cities of Ohio. It also consists of some suburbs, for instance the city of Akron, lying in the very south part of the district. So this looks entirely like a district in which progressives have a chance of toppling establishment Democrats and gain another seat for the progressive movement in Congress. But there are of course challengers to Nina Turner, and we should look at them and what has been written about them in articles about the district. One of the more prominent Democrats challenging Nina Turner is the Cuyahoga County Councilor and the chair of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, Chantel Brown. She announced her race on December 9, 2020, and is believed to be one of the more establishment Democrats in the race. She endorses some of the same positions that Marcia Fudge endorsed, and is believed by many to be the continuity candidate in the race. She has also attracted some pretty interesting endorsements, for instance from the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Joyce Beatty, from the same state. And there are also Democrats positioning themselves to be a little more to the center, between Nina Turner and Chantel Brown. For instance, a guy named Jeff Johnson is proposing to be a bridge builder between the progressives and the establishment, according to this article in Cleveland magazine. However, I think the dynamic will show itself once again, that it is the establishment versus a progressive challenger in the district that the Democrats control. So the debate isn't who will defeat the Republicans. It is debate about who best represents the Democratic voters of a heavily Democratic district. There are also many other candidates in the race. It is hard to determine who is leading because there hasn't been issued any polls from the district as far as I could gather. However, one way of looking at which candidate gains more support is looking at fundraising numbers. Let's look at a little segment about that, and then let's review the FEC data to see if we can determine something from that.
In the fundraising process a year or two out, not a month or two, but that's what happens when you have a special election. The latest campaign finance reports filed with the Federal Elections Commission shows 4 candidates in the 11th District raising funds for a run. Totals are only through December 31st, so they represent only the first few weeks of fundraising. Up then, former Cleveland Councilman Jim Johnson raised $5,700. Cuyahoga County Councilwoman and Democratic Party Chair Chantel Brown had just over $40,000, while former State Senator Nina Turner got off as expected to a strong start with $647,000, with her campaign adding that January was also good.
We have raised over $1 million so far, and that is from tens of thousands of small dollar donations from across the country. Nearly 2,000 donors right here in Ohio.
Because of Turner's role as co-chair of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, which raised the bulk of its money in 2016 and 2020 through small dollar donations, it was expected that she would see the same from across the country. But she believes it won't be just a question of national dollars coming into this local campaign.
Although I do enjoy, because of the work that I've done across the country, the support from grassroots people who can relate to the suffering in the same way that I can, relate to the needs in the same way that I can of their brothers and sisters in the 11th district in the great state of Ohio, we will raise more money than anybody else running from the state.
Brown, for her part, says this is a race that will come down to more than dollars.
We may not be able to match her dollar for dollar, but what I can say is we have the people.
With that look into the FEC fundraising numbers, although somewhat outdated, I think there has been raised more money now, but the FEC hasn't released any new data. I think I will end this video now. Thank you all for watching, and in the future I hope to be posting more about this race because I find it really interesting. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that, and see you guys next time.